and he was saying that we need to have this conversation because I feel like we are not saying enough in terms of what is going on today. But before we start, my name is Fumi. If you know me, you know me as Fumi. And if you know me professionally, then you know me as Margaret, which I feel like a lot of people here know me as Margaret. So I have my sisters here with me today.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. Because sometimes.
Tony, fix your face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try.
So who wants to go first? We only have 1 hour.
My name is Toyi. I don't use my American name at all. Everybody knows.
What is your American name? You have an American name?
I did, Lola.
First of all, I think that's not your American name. That's your baptismal name.
Yeah. Toyi is my name. That's what people call me. Nothing else. Professionally and I'm
professionally. And do you want to go next?
Who, me? No.
Yeah, you're next.
Oh, hi everyone. Well, okay, so hi Charles. I go by 90% of the time because like I go by Josephina, but my family and some of my friends know me as Omo Bonle exclusively. Because currently I'm in after grad school for social. So I do talk about these topics a lot in conversations and papers. So yeah, especially at a time like this, it's been going on for a while. So I do talk about it a lot. I just wanted to, we're going deeper. Yeah, we're going to deeper content.
Well, so I mean, I'm the oldest. In case you don't, I mean, you're friends with myself, with Tony, and with I call her Bolanle.
Yeah,
that's what I call her. Yeah. In case you don't know me, I'm the oldest. Bolanle is the second, and Tony is our big baby. So today I just want to take the time to just have a conversation with you both. I feel like I was talking to Tony yesterday, and I was born in Nigeria. I came here at the age of 15, but Tony and Bolanle are both born here. And for some reason, I feel like my experience is different from their experience growing up. And I think like for once, during COVID and with everything that's going on in the world today, I feel like for once, I'm aware of what's going on. Mm-hmm. I'm aware. And I feel like before, we used to throw it under the bus. We don't talk about it. Right. At least I can speak for myself as being Nigerian. Yesterday I did a video on my YouTube event, Fumi. Everything is Fumi is my YouTube page. So I was talking about the fact that when you have a foreigner as a parent, they come here, they tell you before you leave Nigeria or wherever country you're from, mind your business, stay out of trouble, work hard, send money home. And then we come here, we get lost in the puzzle. So, and then we don't know what culture we fit in. Like, are we Nigerian American? Are we African American? What are we? But I do know every time I check that box, I check myself as African American or Black. Mm-hmm. So, and I've seen Tony and Bolanle, they've done a lot of protests during this period of time. So I just want to do something talking about, my experience. It's not because I'm not aware of what's going on, but I didn't grow up here. And a lot of my friends and a lot of people like us, we just came here and we transitioned into the American culture. So sometimes we get lost in the puzzle. So it's not because we don't want to be part of the conversation. It's just my experience. I didn't experience it until my adult year compared to Tony probably experienced racism since she was a little girl in high school or Bolanle in college. So our stories is very, very different. So that's what I want to talk about today. I also made some notes. So if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. We have about 40 minutes.
Exactly.
Your cousin just said something. What did she say? Majority culture.
To assimilate to the majority culture as an immigrant. Balancing.
Yeah, it's very hard because and Tony said something very crucial yesterday that and I hate the fact that I'm saying this, but the Black communities feel like Africans are not saying enough. We are not doing enough. We are not talking more. We only talk when it favors us because we are privileged, because, you know, we work and we do whatever we want. We act like this country is the temporary stuff for us.
Right.
But the reality of the matter is I've been here since 2000. You understand? So this is home for me. My parents have been here since almost 30 years, you understand? So this is home for us. Like when my parents retire, they're not going back to Nigeria, they're staying here.
Right.
So I do know now that if anybody asks me, you know, where am I from, I say Nigerian. If they ask Tony where she's from, Tony, where are you from?
New York.
But
New York. And Bolale, where are you from?
So when I do meet with other Nigerians, it's kind of complicated because mommy raised us to say that we're from Nigeria. So in my mind, I'm thinking that, and when I meet with other Nigerians, they say you're not from Nigeria, you're from America.
Because you don't, but when people meet me because of my accent, they know I'm not from here.
When people see my name, they know I'm not from here.
Yeah.
Parents aren't from here.
And then I think that's where it comes to me being Margaret, because Arami, they say for me it depends on who is asking. So I think for me, that's why it was just easier, because I remember when I came to college, whenever I would say my first name, because I'm Catholic, so my first name is Margaret. And they would say, you don't look like a Margaret. And I'm like, what is a Margaret supposed to look like? Right. So, but when you all say your name is Tony, they know. But when I say my name is Margaret,
they're confused.
They're like, what's the rest of your name? Where's the rest of your name? So yeah, that's the thing. So I hope today can start a conversation that, you know, we are here, you know, this is our home. As much as I was born and raised in Nigeria, this is our home. And one thing I want to tell both of you is I'm super, super proud of you both, because even when I don't get it, you both are a constant reminder of we're here. You know, we have to act like this is our home. When I see you guys go out and protest and do things of that nature, I am very, very, you know, proud of you both. And thank you for not forgetting when you're from, because like I said, our parents, they did the best that they could to raise us. But now, you know, we have to take on that challenge, and we have to be, you guys are the first generation Nigerian American. So no matter what, Nigeria will always be where you're from, but America is your home, if you think about it, because how often do we go to Nigeria? So that's one of the conversations that, you know, we're going to be talking about. So I guess I have some questions that I want to ask both of you. And if you're, what do you want to
add on to what you were saying? Sorry. So
speak louder a little bit. I can't really hear you. Speak a little louder.
Oh, okay. In the last 2 weeks, mommy and Toy, we've been talking, and we came to the conclusion, like, it doesn't, the police, even like God forbid something happens with us, like, they don't care where you're from at the end of the day. They just see you as a Black person. So
yeah,
we talked about the story of Amadou Diallo, who like years ago he got killed in New York. He was an African man.
African immigrant.
He was.
I remember him.
Yeah. So he got killed. So like, I'm just saying, like,
that was the one that got killed at that club in Softon, right? What's the name?
No, not Sean Bell. This was in Harlem. This is in Harlem.
The Bronx.
This is before you came, like 99.
Hi, Melanie. Yeah.
So it doesn't. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they don't care what color you are. I mean, they don't care where you're from. They don't care about your story, your immigration status. They just know that you're a Black person. So
they don't.
Actually,
you know what
that's why it's important for us to go to these protests to talk about even like Oluwatoyin, like all of that.
Yeah.
Like the story with her, like.
And it shouldn't get to Oluwatoyin getting killed. It shouldn't take for Oluwatoyin getting killed for us to now say, okay, we have to say something, you know.
If something happens to me and I'm arrested or I'm targeted, they're not gonna say, "Oh, she's African, she's good, don't touch her." They're gonna say you're Black, so we're gonna, because I am Black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black is my race, and I am Nigerian, but they don't care about your culture or where you come from or what degree you have or how smart you are, how educated you are, how degreed up you are. They don't care because they all.
So I have a question. when I feel like when I came to join you guys, I feel like I brought more of the Nigerian culture.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I feel like your parents were just raising you very Americanized. I feel like your parents were raising you Americanized.
I wouldn't say that. I would say I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like at the time mommy and daddy were kind of distant from Nigerian culture, and then when you came, you were able to put them on certain.
Yeah, I was able to refresh their memory, yeah. and so when I came, Tony was the baby, and that's why I always call Tony my baby, because I feel like I raised Tony. I think Tony was like 2-3 years old when I came.
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Yeah, so and then Bolanle was Bolanle. I think she was like 7 years old, 8 years old, but she was. I feel like I don't know. I feel like spiritually, Bolande was very spiritually woke when she was 7 years old. Even talking to her on the phone, she didn't know who I was, and she didn't know about Sheyi, but she connected with me before meeting me. Like I would talk to Bolande on the phone, and it was like she knows me. Like she hasn't met me, but So I guess my question is that, do you think that? And I know like a lot of people call do you think that are you more Nigerian or Americanized, or where do you fit in the old trajectory of the culture?
I'll go first with this one. So for me, this is a hard question.
It's easy
because I know I identify with both of being Black in America and also being Nigerian. I don't know my native language. I may understand it, but I cannot speak it. And I know most people, like mommy and daddy didn't raise us to learn it. They spoke to us in the language, but they didn't say, oh, this is that, this is this. They didn't differentiate.
Tony, can I just make a joke? So Bolale, you can't speak Yoruba next to Bolale. She's like a vacuum cleaner. She understands everything, but we always make fun of Tony because you can't say everything. But I think now that you are home, I think you are understanding Yoruba more.
Like I understand it, but I won't speak it for you because I know.
Yeah, but we used to make fun of you. We used to talk about you. So in front of you, and Tony would not understand. But Bolanle, if mommy wants to talk to me about Bolanle, and Bolanle is right there, we have to go into the deeper dialect of Yoruba and change things around, because Bolanle understands everything compared to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, yeah. As I go by my African name, I don't use my middle name at all. I'm named after my dad, obviously. My dad's name is Augustine, and my name is Augustina. I don't really like my middle name. My parents, like mommy and daddy, made sure, because I think with Bumley, she was going as Josephina. So I think with me, when I was starting school, they made sure that I went by my African name. I don't know why they did that, but I guess they just wanted me to know that was my name. So like, I just, like, people know me as Toy, like that's my name. So, but it's a hard question for me because I identify with both of my cultures. I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm not ashamed of my name, of where I come from. I want to say I identify as both because I know that I am Black and I know that I am American, but I also know that I'm Nigerian. I know where I come from. That's where my parents are from. So I want to say I'm equally, I'm a beautiful mix of both cultures. I'm American, I'm Black American, but I'm also Nigerian. Because when
Hi, Dira. Thank you for joining. Well, I think for me also, and I'm gonna Tony, you get a chance to answer this question. I think for me, I feel like I remember when I came, mommy and daddy said, you take the good of the American culture and then you mix it up with Nigerian culture. And so I feel like more than ever, like we are able to kind of like balance, your culture Nigerian culture with American culture.
Right.
So we are able to kind of mix it up a little bit. But I feel like I don't want to, Bolande, let me hear how you feel with this, because I feel like I'm drifting into something else. So, but I want you to say your own truth also.
Okay, you want my truth? I'm gonna give it to you.
Can you put your face in the camera a little bit?
Whatever.
I feel like I'm seeing half of your face.
So like mommy always jokes. I always say I'm the only child because for like the first four before Toy was born.
Are you sure you want to start that story?
No. I'm clearing my point. It was Toy, me. It was mommy, daddy, and me before you came, before Toy was born, and then I started school. So I identified more with the African American kids. I identified with the African American kids and the Haitian kids before I identified with the Nigerian kids. So with me, it's a balance because I always say, like, I call myself, I always say I'm a New Yorker because of the code switching and then doing the accents and all of that. So I always say, like, it's a balance as well. But being Nigerian, I know how to be Nigerian and I know how to be African American. I know how to be, yeah, but that's ignorant. Let me not do that. I know how to be both.
Your black is your race.
Exactly. Black is my race. But I know how to code switch. I know how to
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So that's why it's always a balance for me. Because even when, like what Toy said, like even you're checking that you're black and you're also checking that you're African American. It doesn't say, like, it's a slippery slope for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I also, I think for me, if we are being honest, I think for me, I feel like I remember I think for me, my experience coming from Nigeria, joining here was not pleasant because I came from Nigeria, I was 15 and I just came from Nigeria and my accent, everything, like I was so dark. Like if you see me, you will know I'm from Nigeria. And my experience wasn't pleasant. That's why when people talk about high school reunion, I don't remember my high school. You understand? So I think for me, being Nigerian, like I didn't want to, it was very bad to the point. And I'm sure, like I'm going to talk to other Nigerian American that came here as a teenagers that went to high school here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk to them like as this continues, as we start this conversation. We all have, and the reason why we're talking about this is because we all have our stories and we all have our reality. And I feel like everybody's reality is different. We should not try to say my reality is your reality. And that's why like we're having this conversation. But now more than ever, I wasn't proud to be a Nigerian then. But I think now it's very trendy to be Nigerian. You know, I feel like that's a different conversation. But I remember when I came, like when I smile and people see my teeth, they're like, "Oof, you must be African or something." You understand? Like when they see me, it's like I was, you know, because and one of the videos that I did this week was I was talking about the fact that I didn't know I was. Like, I don't even know if I should say I didn't know I am black until I came here. You understand? So that's the other thing. So I guess my next question is, when people ask you, Tony, because when you say your name, sometimes when I'm with your friends, or maybe when mommy and daddy are we're all together and your friends are around, and when they call you Tony, they call you Toyi. And mommy has to be like, her name is Tony. You understand? So I guess my next question is like, when you say your last name, when people ask you to say your last name, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit annoyed. I get annoyed because I don't want to say my last name is a chore, but I have to go into how to tell you how to pronounce it. And I know it's something that I have to do. And it's not just me. It's not just my last name. It's also my first name. Because they start.
Aramide said race is not construct in Nigeria. It's not.
That's a fact.
So like I have to go into how to pronounce.
Sophie said saying your last name is annoying.
So it's just like, let me explain something. In middle, all throughout my life, when a teacher would get to my name in class, they would pause and look confused. I automatically it was me because I'm the only one in there with that name.
I used to cut
You know what I'm saying? And I'll just be like, hey, that's me. You know, laugh it off.
Some people would say my last name. Some people would say Oluwani Fish, and some people would say Oluwani Feces. And I'm like,
so many like with my first and last name. Like, I would kind of have to laugh it off as a joke, like, ha, but I'm not laughing. I'm actually...
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable when they say your last name.
Right.
And when they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say your last name because I can't pronounce
it's one
it.
Thing if you try. If you try, I'm not going to be angry because you tried. But I get that my name is complicated to y'all. And I'm saying to y'all, because my name is honestly not that complicated. It flows. My first and last name flows. And there's so many more Nigerian names that are way more complicated than mine. But I get here it's complicated. And I'm putting that in quotation. I don't think my name is complicated. I would, but yeah.
But do you think you say your last name properly?
Oh my God.
I mean, the thing is, I don't have an accent, or I'm not able to make that accent because I
no, but do you think you say your name to make other people comfortable?
I think I do too.
I think I say
no, but do you think you say your last name to make people?
I literally I say Oluwani Fishe.
Oh, you're saying
like I break it down for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say it for you, and you still say it wrong, so I don't know where to go.
Yeah. I know what I noticed though. There is some people that do ask for the phonetics and they write it down, and I appreciate them. I know that happens a lot in academia. They do that a lot, and I appreciate it. And then there's the people that generally ask what does it mean, and then I tell them, and they say it's a beautiful name. But like it's weird, but at the same time, like even I used to say in high school, not gonna lie, I would say, you know, when I say my last name, it takes out a lot of me because it's so exhausting.
And I feel like I'm being made fun of a little bit. I feel like I'm a joke.
Exactly. I get that. But imagine you, but I feel like you're able to blend in well than I'm able to blend in, you know, in a sense that even now, I feel like being Nigerian is a cool thing now more than ever. And compared to like before where, you know, you don't want to say where you're from because, you know, but so the next thing I want to ask both of you, and I really do appreciate you both for doing my first live video, because I feel like you all have been, did you just roll your eyes? Yeah. You all have been doing so much, especially for Sonia. I remember, I think, were you a junior or sophomore when you did a rally in upstate New York at your school?
Year, right?
Yeah, and you know, like if you have Nigerian as parents, they are always praying. Like even on your good day, they are always praying. So I think Sonia was at a rally and mommy called me and I'm like, she's fine. But when daddy calls, that's when you're like, hi Sonia, hi Al. When daddy was like, your sister is doing a rally. Can you, cause I feel like our parents, they are very strong when they talk. So you both, I feel like you listen to me more than mommy and daddy. So daddy called, because I'm very rational. Daddy called and said, tell your sister to go home. So I'm like, daddy, she's doing, I was scared. No, but the reality of the matter is, what did you say, Balale?
I said to daddy, I said, she's protesting, she's fighting
for her. She's on the TV. But, you know, and then I felt I was scared. But I feel like I'm doing you a disservice if I tell you to go home. So I was like, daddy, she's fine. She's doing what she can do, you know, with the strength that she... So I guess my next question is, do you think you're a good representation of where you're from? And how are you different from I guess like my generation, like, or my friends that are American, that are Nigerian, like my friends, you know, your aunties, like that came as a teenager. Do you see a difference in your work in the community and my difference? Do you think you guys are doing more than we should be doing? And what can we do better to support you guys is my question.
You go first. I've been going first.
I feel like if I answer it, I'm gonna say something wrong.
No,
because I gotta go first. You see, everybody, this is what I deal with. Somebody, okay,
hi everyone. Hi Nay. Hi Auntie.
So, being the middle child and being the age that I am, I'm in between the generations. So, I'm in a space where I'm with your age group in terms of you kids are doing too much, way too much back in the day. So I understand that. Then I'm with Toy's generation because of the whole we're close in age. Stop. We're close in age, so it's like I get the protesting, but then at first I didn't get it. So and then talking to her, I understand why it's happening because we're well, not me, but her generation is growing up to be enough. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
No, you're good. Are you done?
You go.
I think for me, I think why I'm so passionate, I'm so hurt by this. Like, it's deeper for me because I've experienced being called the N-word head on. Like, I've been called the N-word multiple times. I had a whole job where I was called the N-word multiple times. So, like, I've experienced racism.
Hi, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie. Like, I've experienced being called that to my face firsthand. I've experienced racism at a PWI. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced being the only Black girl in my biology class. You know what I'm saying? Black girl, not even Black person, Black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've experienced this. So, like, I'm able to combine the fact that I'm Nigerian. I'm able to combine the fact that I'm Black in America. And I mean, that's why I protest. This is why I go so hard. And this is why I kind of take it personal. For my older aunties.
Hi, Regina.
I don't know. I feel like when I look at you and I look at my other aunties.
Can I say something? By the way, my sisters don't call me by my name. They call me micro. Your auntie said microaggression is real as well. It's very, very real. So they call me. So in case you hear them calling me Stafumi, they call me Sister Fumi because I'm culturally like that's how we have. So they have so because of me, my sisters have so many aunties. All my friends are their aunties. So that's how it is in our culture.
Yeah, I want to expand on that before I expand on what I was saying. Basically, for like anybody that doesn't understand why I call my sister Fumi, she's older than me. You know what I'm saying? She practically raised me, and she's older than me. She's way older than me. It's disrespectful for me to call her by her name. Even in my phone, she stays that.
You sound very aggressive. Like
it's true though. Like, and all my older aunties.
I'm like scared the way you're talking.
she slipped by. Hey Regina.
Why don't you call Bolanle Sister Bolanle?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna elaborate. Okay, I guess we're just elaborating. And all my older aunties and even people. I don't like calling old people that are older than me by their first name. I'm just uncomfortable because my parents didn't raise me. And that's just me. That's my culture. I'm not judging you if you call people by their first names. Oh.
Keep talking to him. Don't even let her distract you or don't let anybody distract you.
Be nice. You are not here for 4 hours.
Okay, I know. I would call my aunties. And like, even though they're not related to me by blood, those are my aunties.
Yeah, we have so many aunties. We have so many aunties and so many uncles and so many mommies, so many daddies, so many grandmas, so many grandpas, right?
But what I was saying for my older aunties and like you, like I think you guys are doing enough because like you said before, you came here as a teenager and you had to kind of assimilate to the culture of Black America. But you know what I'm saying? You didn't you didn't feel like you were a part.
But I also feel like I wasn't accepted compared to you guys. I feel like I wasn't accepted. I was made fun of. I had I hated my prom pictures. I had bad memories. I don't have any friends from high school because you guys blended and you started from the beginning, but I didn't get that opportunity. You know?
Sorry, but I also feel like that era, and I hate talking about this because we've grown so much as a community all together. It came from one of that. We came from that era.
And one of your aunties just spoke up, Auntie Peggy.
We came from that era where people were called African booty scratchers,
even making monkeys.
Exactly.
That we speak Swahili.
Especially, and then the media, even like with fat girls and all of that. So we came from that. We came from an era where people were mocking us, and then it took like a Afrobeat star that they play at
day kid and day
exactly that they play at day parties for y'all to see what we're
now you want to wear opera. You want to do all that.
And the shikis for Wakanda. Like but anyways, it's your thing.
And you know, it's a lot of education from both sides.
Exactly, Tosi.
Yeah. Tosin said hashtag never forget. I think the other thing for me also is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation is because I wanted us, because I have so many friends that, you know, we talk and I feel like I'm not doing enough, though we can't really. And you know, the world is crazy now. Your auntie said we are more mainstream. The world is crazy now, and there's so many things going on in the world, and I just feel like more than ever, like Africans have to say something. We have to, hi auntie, we have to say something.
Not a part of this.
We have to say something. We have to do better. We can't just act like we are renting rooms here. We can't just act like we are here temporarily and then we save our money, we go to Nigeria, we build houses there, but 11 months out of the year, we're here.
We can't also impede on other people.
What did you say?
We can't impede judgment on other people.
Other people.
I feel like with mom and dad especially, they get it now.
I think they get it now, especially daddy. He might not comprehend the whole thing. But you guys are very fortunate because I think daddy and mommy got tired when they got to you all. I feel like all their energy was on me. Right. So now you guys are, but I also like the fact that you guys are confident enough to step into your purpose. You know what you needed to do. Like when I was your age, I would ask mommy and daddy for permission. You guys don't ask for permission. You do what you need to do. You know, like I know, like if I wanna go out like in 2 weeks, I have to let mommy and daddy know like 6 months before, so that they can prepare their whole life for me going out for one night. Well, I know you guys, you know, you don't ask for permission. So I guess what I want to what I want to
that was her. Don't put that was
I know what I like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. If you're a Nigerian or not just a Nigerian, if you're a foreigner from the Caribbean, from the 6 months, Aramide said 6 months before, and daddy will tell you, you know, there was an accident there last month, there was a robbery 2 weeks ago. By the time daddy tell me the negative aspect of where I'm going, I'm drained. I just don't go. So I guess I say that to say, like, I really, really admire you guys' strength. You know, Tosin said they always get tired by the time they get to the last one. Yeah, that's true. But you know, the other thing is that you guys don't tell them, you don't ask for their permission. You just go. Yeah. And you say that this is where I'm going to be. But you know, so let's Caribbean parents too. But so the next question I want to ask, because I don't have children and I have so many friends that have children. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that what would you want parents today, Nigerian parents today, to know about raising a child in America, knowing what you know? Would you say they should blend, have the background Nigerian culture or Asian culture, Ghanaian culture, Ghanaian culture, Jamaican culture, have it in there, but would you say they should embrace the American culture? Like include the, make your children feel like they belong, so that they don't get lost when they turn 21 and they don't know where which side they are on. Because I'm having that trouble now. I'm having that trouble to say, oh, I am Black American. I check that box all the time, but am I doing my part? Meaning that I've been in this country for so long. So what would you advise somebody like me when I have my children, or my friends that are raising children right now? What would you tell them to do better?
I thought you said for me.
Oh, go.
God.
I would say it's literally exactly what you said. Like, you have to raise them as being Black in America, because they are Black in America. But you also have to let them know that they come from Nigeria. You are Nigerian. I am Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? Or I am Guyanese. I am Jamaican. You know, like, and you know, there should be certain, like, even though like I am so Americanized, but like it's just like it's something as simple as, for example, me kneeling when I see. Like,
your auntie said to the majority culture, we are Black first, regardless of where we are from. Yes, yeah. She's right. Yeah. We are always Black in this country. It doesn't matter where you're from. You're
because
Black.
We cannot hide our Blackness.
Yeah.
Like it's little things like you, mommy, and daddy telling me that I have to kneel when I see my big mommies or anybody that's older than me.
Yeah, because sometimes Tony scares me sometimes. Like when we go out and when we are meeting new people, I have to say, Tony, you are, because she's the baby of the family and she's got a past. So we always have to tell her, you know, do this, do that. And it's not because she doesn't want to, it's because we have to remind her. Bolande does a good job of just knowing. I have an auntie, a big cousin, Auntie Kenny. I learned from her. She just kneels down and she just goes with the flow because she doesn't want to, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just little things like you definitely raised, because being Black in America is different. Being Black anywhere where it's majority, how do I say this? Where it's a majority racism is going to be different. Because I'm sure it's like this in the UK as well. I'm sure it's like this all over Europe. You just have to remind your kids that they are not any different from Black Americans.
And I feel like
you know that from let me say African Americans, because
yeah.
we are Black. Yes.
But you know what, I was during the week I was reading something and they said it's not okay to say African American. That is okay to, that is more, the proper word is Black.
I've heard that too. Okay. Because now
I don't know. I'm asking you guys because I was watching something and they were saying the proper word is Black, no African American. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
A lot of people don't identify as African American either. Like I know somebody, she is Black, but she doesn't identify as African American. She identifies as South American because she's Guyanese. So I guess it depends on the culture.
It depends. Like you would have to ask an American that.
Sorry. I thought about.
You know what? For me, sorry. I think for me, I don't know. I just feel like now that I'm adult, I learned from you guys. I learned, and I think as a Nigerian American, I feel like one thing we have to do better is educate ourselves more, especially when you just came from Nigeria or Guyanese is a nationality, not a race. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like we have to educate ourselves more. We can't ignore the right word to say. We have to be more careful of what we say. Even I know, like, coming from Nigeria, they will tell you, you know, come stay out of trouble, mind your business, don't do this, don't do that. And then so we have to, at least for my generation, I know we have to be mindful of what we say, how we say it, and we have to respect other culture.
Right.
You know, learn about other culture, not just our own culture. You know, like respect other people's culture, even if you don't understand what they are saying. I feel like when you're a colored person, you should always be on that side. You understand?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Based on what you asked earlier about the cultural aspect, do you feel like it will, because of the generations, do you feel like it will still be the same? Because those are important questions as well. Do you feel as if kneeling will be more effective than it was 30, you know?
I think, I feel like 2 years from now, it will be something else. But I know one thing that, I don't want to put one up. I have my close friends. And I think last week we were having a deep conversation about things we have never talked about. I know sometimes I will call my best friend and I will literally rant, or maybe your auntie, like I will literally rant about, we will talk about what is going on in the world today. And I feel like sometimes we don't get it because we're here to survive. We're here because where we came from, we didn't have the opportunity. So I feel like when we get here, we get caught up in all the chaos and we don't care about everything else. But now that we're having children and we are raising a family and we're having boys and we're having daughters, I think more than ever, we are able to take a pause and say, okay, like, as much as I don't want to pay attention to this is real. So I think I'm a lot aware than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Even if I don't walk around saying I'm Black and I'm proud. I feel like I'm like us having this conversation, especially with with the African community or the Caribbean community. We have to talk about it. We have to have this conversation and we have to talk more about it. Like, we are here, this is our home, and we see you, we see what you're doing, and all life matters, not just African life, Black lives. You understand? Like, Black life matters. Because I'm Nigerian, I should not take priority over a Jamaican person, over a Ghanaian person.
I think Black is your race.
Yeah, Black, if you think about it like that, that's the way you have to think about it. Being Black is your race.
You're Black
You know,
first.
yeah. So I think for me, I'm learning from you guys. So when you say Black is your race, I've never thought about it like that. So, and I feel like even if you're not Black, even if you're not Black, let's say you're Spanish or you're Indian or whatever you are, but when you check that box as colored, I feel like even if you don't understand the journey or the problem that is going on in our community, you don't have to understand everybody have their differences and stuff like that. You don't have to understand the worst part of it. You don't have to hear somebody getting shot in the back to feel guilty. Right. You understand? That could have been my brother. That could have been my uncle. That could have been my cousin. You understand? So we have to.
This conversation is just so much.
Yeah, it's so much deeper. So we have to do our best to have the conversation, acknowledge it, talk about it, and invite other. And one of the things I want to do is and I'm grateful that you all were able to be my first my first guest doing this. This is not just going to be about talking to you guys. It's going to be talking to other culture, other countries, other different people, so that, because I feel like as African, or at least I'm speaking for myself, I feel like I only know about Nigerian culture. Maybe because my best friend is Guyanese, I know about Guyanese culture, or you understand, like, I feel like I need to open myself more. And my auntie is Asian and I know about the Asian culture, and I have a friend that's Jamaican, but I feel like I know so much about my culture that I need to do a better job of knowing about other people's culture, so that, because I feel like when you know about people, when you know where they are from, you can understand why they're who they are. So the goal is to continue to have this conversation, and I hope, and both of you, do you think this is a good time to be Black?
Yeah, a good time to be Black.
And do you think you are living your purpose? Like, do you think, a year ago, do you think, compared to now, do you think you are living your purpose as a woman? As a Nigerian American, or
I do feel like I should be doing more, but that's a personal thing, and that's a personal thing for me. I was talking to one of my friends about it, like, what do I need to do more? How can I help people more? And she was giving me options of what could be done. So I do personally, me, and where I'm trying to go forward with, I do feel like I need to be doing way better. I do feel like I need to be doing better.
What about you, Tony?
I feel like I definitely could do more, but I am proud of what I've been doing. There's always more to learn. I'm constantly educating myself on different things and keeping an open mind. But honestly, I feel like I could be doing more, but I'm proud of what I'm doing now. you know, like I'm always for my people. So, and that's because I'm always going to be.
We're in a pandemic as well.
Yeah.
So it's
that's
like,
another thing.
You have to make a decision. Yeah. Should I be going to a protest or should I be staying home?
It's like there's so many different ways that you can show up.
Yeah,
donate,
definitely.
Share, like this.
You don't have open your mouth and talk. I feel like, but I mean, whoever is listening to us now, do you think, if you have a suggestion that you can make for us, like, you know, do you think you are doing more with, you know, with your platform, with who you are? You know, if you are, just, you know, type it up. And I also, one of the things I want to talk to you about, do you think, what have you learned during this COVID-19 that you haven't learned? Like, share some of the things that you have done that you would not have even thought about doing since the lockdown.
What have I done? I feel like I've done a lot. I've done a lot. I feel like this was like a pause for me to get my life together. I was able to open my eyes.
You're getting your life.
I wasn't able to focus on before.
Tosin said, I think starting from where you are is important. During this time, I speak up at work, for example. Yes, you have to speak up. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is, and I'm sorry to go back to the previous conversation, is if you're Black or you're colored, if you hear your co-worker that is another color that is speaking negative about somebody that look like you have to say something. You can't just laugh it off and be like, it's okay. And the other thing I want to say is, like, as women, we have to support each other. You know, even if it's checking ourselves behind closed doors, but I feel like as women, we have to have each other's back. Yeah. Would you agree or disagree? Like, we have to.
Who else don't have our back? We have to protect each other. We have to protect each other. We have to protect all women, and I mean all women. Okay.
And you have to speak up when you see something wrong. Like, don't just say, "Oh, it's fine." That's how she is when she's mad, or that's how she gets when she's this. I feel like more than ever, when you encourage bad behavior, it continues. And I feel like I've done the same, and that's why I said I have to have this conversation, because when you are Nigerian and you come to this country, you have fear to talk, to speak out your truth. But knowing what I know now, I know how to set boundaries. Like, don't talk to me about so, don't have this conversation.
You have to speak up, because if you don't speak up, that creates another problem, and then people think you're used to it.
I feel like it's very important, especially for non-Black people of color, to speak out, because at the end of the day, you face your own injustices. Like, if you're not white in America, you are a minority.
Yeah,
like, you're not white, you're different. And if you're a non-Black person of color, you should be just as angry as we are. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're facing injustice, we come out for y'all. We go hard for everybody else. So we just want the same type of energy back. You know, like, you should be able to see what's going on and realize that it's wrong on so many levels. It's wrong.
It's wrong. And I think we should because we don't have that much time yet. And I want to talk about exactly. Tosin said exactly what I was going to say to you. Our non-Black allies need to speak up. We have to speak up for each other.
I do feel like some are speaking, but at the same time, because this is a safe space and I have to be honest, I do feel like they're just doing it as an apology.
It's trendy.
Exactly.
My thing is that, you know what I've learned that we do as Black community? We talk about race in our home. And I feel like other colors don't talk about race. I mean, I don't want to say the W word. They don't talk about, and that's why they are saying, like, oh, I didn't know that's how they feel. We talk about colors at home. We talk about it. We have conversation about it. So I think for me, in the beginning of the video I was talking about, so during the COVID, I have learned how to make puff-puff. I am the puff-puff expert. You want me to make puff-puff for you? Oh, you know, just let me. And I have had some tests, like, and I made meat pie. I made buns today.
Meat pie. Wow.
I made meat pie. But I used to make meat pie and chin chin. Did you forget? And I made buns today. I made buns today. And one of the things that I've done that I've never done I am one of the things I'm most proud of that I've done during this period is start a YouTube page. So I've been ranting on YouTube. I've been saying I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I finally started it. It's called Everything Is For Me. So you can subscribe to it to hear me talk. And we are gonna start this conversation. We are gonna talk about it. I'm gonna invite other people from different culture. We are gonna have this conversation. And one thing I do want to say is make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you take good care of yourself. Make sure you're careful when you go outside. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to, take care of your health, take care of your body, take care of your mental health, because everything kind of works together. And the other thing I do want to say is that I'm proud to be Nigerian, but I'm also proud to be living here. I'm also proud to be living in United States, because this is where I am. This is my home. Like I live here majority of the time, So and I'm happy that we have the opportunity to have this conversation. So I hope we are able to continue this conversation. And I think the moral of this whole conversation is to say that, we're Nigerian and we are speaking, we don't know where we fit in, but we would like to know where to start, like it just not being Nigerian. You could be from anywhere. You could be from any part of Africa or the Caribbean or anywhere. We are willing to know where to start and learn how to make each other feel better, support each other, and continue to have the conversation. Do you both have anything else to say? Are you glad you joined my first live?
Sure.
I apologize.
You don't have to agree. You can say you're not happy.
Because I know what I said, but that was because of the reference, but it's fine.
Oh, I don't even know what she's talking about. That's Bolande being Bolande.
Yeah, I'm proud to be Black.
Of course you're Black, especially Bolande. So you wore our hair combed down. Of course you're proud to be Black. And what about you, Bolande? What do you think you can, like, going forward? Are you happy with the way things are going? And
I am happy about it. I just don't, like, in terms of brands and businesses, I do feel like it's an apology, and I'm not really feeling that. I feel like now, like, everyone it took us exactly, and I feel like it took us years, even with the Aunt Jemima situation. You know how many years you've been talking about that?
People have been complaining about that
for years. You've been complaining about Aunt Jemima for years, and then it took all of this for you guys.
But you know what I think we also have to do? I think we also have to have this conversation with our parents. We have to educate our parents, on being Black. Because I feel like our parents just want to play it safe, and that's fine. But they are here also.
Change, like, if they, for example, if they say something about, like, okay, so our parents are obviously from Nigeria, and if they say something from, like, about Black Americans, I'll kind of be like, well, we're all Black at the end of the day. We ourselves, because we are Black.
We have to correct our parents when they say the wrong thing. And and the other thing, we have to support. Like I think because of Arewa NYC, we have to support Black businesses. Like, I feel like some people will pay hundreds of dollars to buy food or to go to a certain restaurant, and when they come to their own community, they don't want to, they start bargaining price. We have to support our businesses. We have to support our men that are doing well in the industry. We have to support our women that are doing well. Wear your product, even if it's not good enough, make it good enough, make it okay. Like, support your minority business. Go to grocery stores that have buy us for us. So that's how we can make, like, that's the things, the little things that we can do. Wear a Black product, wear a minority product, go to a minority store, support them. It's not just about showing up at rallies. It's about bringing money to your community. It's about supporting, making sure they don't take our properties from us, making sure they don't. I have a friend that lives in Brooklyn and is on live now. I don't want to put him on the spot. Like, his job is to make sure they don't take houses you know, community things from us, you know.
Yes.
Exactly. Your auntie just said, can she have family discount? No, you're not getting family discount. That's what I just said. Like, we have to support each other. We have to, if Gucci costs 1,200, don't complain about Arewa NYC costing 200 because it's not Gucci. You understand? Like, you have to support, you know, Arewa NYC, M Sarah, RL. You have to support Oyato. You have to support Flicky. You have to support Gem Touch. You have to support your Black businesses. You have to support your minority. You have to support people that are doing the best that they can with the little that they have, you know. So we have 26 minutes, so we have to kind of wrap up.
You can't get mad when they start to do blackface.
Yeah, so
all those other things.
Yeah, so thank you all for joining this live.